This video is to honor the remarkable life of Lord Collingwood, a stalwart of the British Navy and a key figure in the Napoleonic Wars. Born on September 26, 1748, in Newcastle upon Tyne, Collingwood displayed a passion for the sea from a young age. He joined the Royal Navy at just 12 years old, quickly rising through the ranks due to his exceptional leadership and tactical skills. Collingwood is perhaps best known for his role in the Battle of Trafalgar, where he served as Vice Admiral to Lord Nelson. Following Nelson's death during the battle, Collingwood took command and ensured a decisive victory for the British fleet, securing British naval supremacy for years to come. His leadership was marked by a deep sense of duty, courage, and an unwavering commitment to his men. Beyond his military prowess, Collingwood was also a man of principle. He advocated for the welfare of his sailors, understanding that a strong navy depended on the well-being of its crew. His legacy lives on not only through his victories but also through his humane approach to leadership. Lord Collingwood passed away on March 7, 1810, but his contributions to naval history and his enduring spirit continue to inspire us today. The combined fleet sailed from Cadiz in October 1805. The Battle of Trafalgar immediately followed. Villeneuve, the French admiral, drew up his fleet in the form of a crescent. The British fleet bore down in two separate lines, the one led by Nelson in HMS Victory, and the other by Collingwood in HMS Royal Sovereign. Royal Sovereign was the swifter sailer, mainly because its hull had been given a new layer of copper which lacked the friction of old, well-used copper, and thus was much faster. Having drawn considerably ahead of the rest of the fleet, she was the first engaged. "See," said Nelson, pointing to Royal Sovereign as she penetrated the center of the enemy's line, "see how that noble fellow Collingwood carries his ship into action." Probably it was at the same moment that Collingwood, as if in response to the observation of his great commander, remarked to his captain, "What would Nelson give to be here?" Royal Sovereign closed with the Spanish admiral's ship and fired her broadsides with such rapidity and precision at Santa Ana that the Spanish ship was on the verge of sinking almost before another British ship had fired a gun. Several other vessels came to Santa Ana's assistance and hemmed in Royal Sovereign on all sides. The latter, after being severely damaged, was relieved by the arrival of the rest of the British squadron, but was left unable to maneuver. Not long afterward, Santa Ana struck her colors. On the death of Nelson, Collingwood assumed his position as Commander-in-Chief, transferring his flag to the frigate HMS Euryalus. Knowing that a severe storm was in the offing, Nelson had intended that the fleet should anchor after the battle, but Collingwood chose not to issue such an order. Many of the British ships and prizes were so damaged that they were unable to anchor, and Collingwood concentrated efforts on taking damaged vessels in tow. In the ensuing gale, many of the prizes were wrecked on the rocky shore and others destroyed. Collingwood was raised to the peerage as Baron Collingwood of Caldburn and Hethble in the county of Northumberland. He also received the thanks of both Houses of Parliament and was awarded a pension of £2,000 per annum. Together with all Trafalgar captains and admirals, he also received a Naval Gold Medal, his third, after those for the glorious 1st of June and Cape St. Vincent. Only Nelson and Sir Edward Berry share the distinction of 3 gold medals for service during the wars against France. When not at sea, he resided at Collingwood House in the town of Morpeth, which lies some 15 miles north of Newcastle upon Tyne, and Churton Hall in Churton, now a western suburb of North Shields. He is known to have remarked, "Whenever I think how I am to be happy again, my thoughts carry me back to Morpeth." From Trafalgar until his death, no great naval action was fought. Although several small French fleets would attempt to run the blockade, and one successfully landed troops in the Caribbean 2 months after Trafalgar, the majority were hunted down and overwhelmed in battle. Collingwood was occupied in important political and diplomatic transactions in the Mediterranean, in which he displayed tact and judgment. He requested to be relieved of his command of the fleet so that he might return home. However, the government urgently required an admiral with the experience and skill of Collingwood to remain, on the grounds that his country could not dispense with his services in the face of the still potent threat that the French and their allies could pose. His health began to decline alarmingly in 1809, and he was forced to again request the Admiralty to allow him to return home, which was finally granted. Collingwood died as a result of cancer on board HMS Ville de Paris, off Port Mahon as he sailed for England, on 7 March 1810. He was laid to rest beside Nelson in the crypt of St. Paul's Cathedral. Lord Collingwood is remembered today as a distinguished naval hero and a compassionate leader. His legacy is celebrated through various monuments and memorials, including the iconic Collingwood Monument in Newcastle upon Tyne. Historians and naval enthusiasts regard him as one of the pivotal figures in British naval history, particularly for his strategic brilliance and decisive actions at the Battle of Trafalgar. Additionally, his humane treatment of sailors and advocacy for their welfare have contributed to his enduring reputation as a leader who valued the lives and well-being of his crew. Collingwood's name remains synonymous with courage, duty, and integrity in the naval tradition. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. Please consider giving me a like and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.